Hello everyone. My name is Hunter, and this is a spoiler review of Ted Lasso season 3, episode 11. And I gotta say that I really like this episode. I think these episodes are getting better and better lately. I still had a few frustrations with this episode. So let's start with Nate. So at the beginning of the episode, 3 of the Richmond team members come to the restaurant that Nate's working at and asks him to come back and coach the team. There I have a little bit of frustration with Nate's entire storyline this season. I really wished, because he needed some character development, and I think he was a very interesting character with where they left him last season. I found myself very mad with him last season, as I'm sure most people did, with how he treated Ted. But still, I think there could have been like a really good story that came out of that. My problem with his story throughout this entire season so far in this episode is that I don't think his redemption arc is very good. I mean, all of this started when Nate got his girlfriend Jade. And so my question is, I mean, if Jade was never in the picture, would Nate have ever redeemed himself like this? And if they broke up, what would happen with Nate? Would he just go back to his old ways? I mean, right now he's happy, but if the world is beating him down again, how do we know Nate's going to not go back to the person that he was before in season 2? And that's what's frustrating. I kind of wish that we could have had Nate and Ted talking more. And I don't entirely understand why the team came to try and get him back. I understand they believe that he deserves a second chance. But I just think it's kind of all of a sudden for the team to give him a second chance. But eventually at the end of the episode, Nate does come back. We have this kind of funny moment with Beard interacting with Nate. My problem with Beard right now in this conversation with Nate is that I just wish it was Ted. I'm pretty sure we're going to get this on the last episode. But it's like I wasn't really interested in seeing Beard and Nate kind of patch things up, because Beard is not really the person Nate should be apologizing to. It should be Ted. And so I don't know. It could have just been played for a joke. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was kind of Beard's thing. And it was just a random little storyline thrown in. So it could have just been a joke thing they just had throughout the episode. So now in the Ted storyline, Ted's mom comes to visit. And she is a lot like Ted. She's very happy. She's very nice. She's telling all these stories about Ted, which aren't even true to like the people she meets. She is likable. Honestly, I'm not gonna remember her very much. She seemed very that's the thing with I guess that's the thing with Ted in the beginning. Ted didn't really seem like he had a lot of depth at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the show. And as the show went on, you started to see Ted break down a bit more. But his mom is kind of like Ted at the very beginning of season 1. And so you don't really see underneath that nice, kind exterior from her. And so you can definitely see where Ted gets it from. She's hiding all the pain and stuff. And this is what Ted is he kind of rags on her about. And he starts cursing her out, saying, hey, you didn't help me get through this period because you were trying to act like everything was okay. And I gotta say that I like the scene. I kind of wish we saw the mom earlier. I kind of wish we had met her earlier, because I don't know. All this seemed kind of it seemed very quick. All of this stuff to happen. Like he just sees her, and then he just starts blurting all this stuff out. But then at the end, his mom tells Ted why she's here, and that's because Henry misses him, which leads me to think that Ted is going to leave at the end of this season, which is what everyone's really thinking, because they said this is going to be the last season. It's not exactly confirmed, but they said the producers said that they were only going to do 3 seasons. But with the show doing as well as it has been, who knows? And then at the end of the episode, Ted talks to Rebecca. Rebecca's like, I don't really have a truth bomb for you this year, because the last 2 seasons she gave a truth bomb to Ted every single time at the end of the season. But Ted's like, I got one, so that may just be him going home. It's gonna be kind of sad to see this end. I know I've been a little bit frustrated with this show for the last few weeks, but I don't know. It's gonna feel a little sad to see it end. And we have one more plot line though. We have the one with Jamie, Keely, and Roy. And so Jamie he's kind of out of his little egotistical mood, and he's kind of putting himself down over and over and over again. And so the only person who seems to help him is his mom, which they are very, very close. Like he is when he's around here, he acts like he's like 5 years old, and Roy and Keely are like, this is very, very close for mother and son. It was just kind of funny to see that, to see Jamie kind of, acts like such a child in that moment. Also, when Roy and Keely were like following him to his house, I don't know how Jamie couldn't have saw them. I mean, he did, because Keely and Roy was just walking, and then Keely was just like running behind every single car. I'm not entirely sure who he saw first, but I'm pretty sure both of them were pretty easy to spot. And so it turns out that Jamie has always been a big fan of Roy and Keely because he has posters of them in his room. It's really funny. It really shows a lot about Jamie. And then and honestly, I've said this before, but Jamie has become my favorite character. And seeing him during the football game in this episode, he's just grown so much. He's the only character in the entire show where I've really loved where they've taken the character throughout the entire 3 seasons. So Jamie hurts his leg on the pitch. He doesn't have a lot of motivation to go on, because he's looking for his dad the entire time. It's worrying him that he can't find his dad. And then Ted says, well, tell me what you would tell your dad if he were here. And then Jamie's like, I don't need you anymore. And so that gives Jamie motivation to get up, and he plays another game. It's just, I love Jamie's storyline here. I love Jamie throughout the season. I wish we could see more of him. Honestly, I don't know how this is going to sound to some of you, but I kind of wish we spent less time with Keely and more time with Roy or Jamie. But yeah, I mean, Roy and Jamie definitely needed the most character development throughout this entire season. I do hope we see Jamie's dad again in the last episode, but I doubt it. This feels like the end for Jamie for his character development here. But yeah, that is this episode. I do thank you for watching. So if I had to give this episode a grade from 0 to 100, I think I would give it about an 80. An 80 is really good. We have one more episode left to review, and then I'm going to give an entire season review without spoilers. And so without further ado, I thank you for watching, and goodbye.